What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Jobbers Podcast. I'm Cody.
And I am back for your viewing pleasure.
We're back, baby.
Take it in, baby.
It's been quite a while. You didn't put your bra on, did you?
No, I like to let the puppies run free.
Yeah, it's been a while since we put an episode out. You know, a lot of things have been going on, just family stuff, personal stuff, and so...
I'm on a lot of people's Christmas lists.
You know, I mean, we haven't fallen off the face of the earth.
Well, we did, but we're back.
Yeah, we're back. We did for a little bit, but now we're back for you guys.
Yep.
But there's a lot that we got to talk about, and there's a lot that we need to get into. But before we do, thank you to everybody that's been listening, and thank you to everybody that has subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and do that before this episode is over. Or go ahead and do it right now. Either one, whatever you want to do. But either way, subscribe.
Yeah, you can literally do it right now. You don't have to pause the thing. The fact that you haven't already is kind of insulting.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Shame, shame, shame.
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 Shame. Shame.
Anyway, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want, we're on social media. You can follow us there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and you can follow us on any podcast streaming platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, wherever podcasts are streamed, we are there. Now, as far as upcoming events, I usually do this right in the middle of the episode, but so far, there are not any upcoming events.
It's the end of the year.
Exactly. It's the holiday season. Everybody's taking time off, being with their families and their loved ones and friends and family, all that. So there won't be any upcoming events just for a couple of weeks or so. But leading up to the New Year's, there will be some that we'll announce in the future. But as for now, you get to just hear our angelic voices and just see our beautiful faces if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this very uncomfortable display. Be thankful that you're just watching from a screen and not being here in person.
Did you see that scene from Little Nicky where the guy's like, I don't need luck. I'm good.
Yeah, I would say that I've missed doing this with you, but there's some things where I'm just like, you know what? I could have maybe taken another week or so.
Oh, that image is in your brain fully now, and it's going to come up at the most inopportune moments.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, let's get into a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday night's main event that happened this past weekend. You know,
we're going to talk about... Oh, the wrestling event. Oh,
yeah, that Saturday night's main event.
That's what my wife calls it.
Whatever. Anyway... Saturday night's main event, I was looking forward to this because there was a lot of hype for it. And we knew a lot of legends were going to be there as well. I thought they'd have more of an influence on it, but just to have their presence there.
I'm glad that they were just there to watch. I mean, honestly, I don't need Jimmy Hart to get out of his seat. I mean, he's pushing 80 at this point. We
I love Jimmy Hart.
We don't need it. Some of these guys, it's sit there. You've done enough.
I do like though that Jesse Ventura. They brought him back to sit at the desk.
The body was in full gear on Saturday night.
Man, Jesse is...
He said things that I didn't understand just as much as I didn't understand them when he said them back in the early 90s and the late 80s.
I mean, there were some pretty good names there. I mean, you had Greg the Hammer Valentine, you got Coco Beware. Oh, gosh, who was sitting next to Jimmy? I know that there was a couple of other ones there, but... I mean, my mind's blanking right now.
My mind's blanking on it right now. But yeah, no, there was a lot of nostalgia. I mean, but the most important return of the entire evening was the return of the greatest belt of all time.
Yes,
the Winged Eagle.
1,000.
Please just bring it back full time. Can like
beat me right to it. Like, let's just enough with the big giant W title. Bring back the Winged Eagle Championship, and don't give us that whole, whatever that title was, the World Heavyweight Championship prior to what it is now.
The spinner belt?
No, not the spinner belt. You know the one I'm talking about, where it was like, I don't know, I think it was, maybe it was the U.S. title that had that just weird, just gaudy looking display where it had the giant eagle on it or whatever it was.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
you know right?
They would it was the U.S. title during COVID.
Yes, that's the one.
That thing was awful looking.
That was the most hideous looking title I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's pretty bad, but I mean, honestly, I haven't liked the look of the world title probably since probably 2004.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best looking world title was the WCW world title.
Yeah, no, I mean the big gold belt. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that one.
And we don't say that just for nostalgia purposes, but it's true.
I mean, but I don't know. There's something about the winged eagle. To me, that's just the belt.
Yes.
Like that to me represents the WWF champion. I mean that. Let's say that's the belt. I've gone on record many times as Shawn Michaels' mark. That's the boyhood dream comes true belt. That's the belt that Shawn Michaels in the center of the ring crying over. Okay, that's the belt that Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels for.
Yes.
The very next night they would flip over and make the blue belt, which I'm glad they turned that belt black later on because the blue one looks stupid.
Yeah, the blue one was a nightmare.
But the winged eagle, I mean, Bret Hart held that championship. I mean, the Ultimate Warrior held that one. Macho Man held that one. Hulk Hogan held that one.
It's just there's something about it that just not only has a lot of prestige, but just represents like something bigger.
Yeah,
Like it's just something about it just screams like this is what the best of the best holds. This is what the best of the best wears, or on their shoulder, around their waist, or whatever they may choose to do. Mm-hmm. Like this, to me, represents prestige.
Yep. And Cody, good for Cody. I think that's for him. That was a childhood dream coming true to be able to hold that belt in the air. Because I say, anybody who grew up that's an adult now never thought of holding a child's plaything in the air. Say that again.
I was about to say, strike that, reverse that.
Some did. Don't take candy from them. But the belts nowadays, it's like they're big, they're gold, they've got diamonds, we're not going to say that they don't look okay, but the giant brand logo belt.
It's just too not necessarily childish, but it just looks too much like a child's toy.
It's very much it's like in Star Wars when certain things happen, you're like that only exists in this movie.
Yes,
to sell toys to kids.
Yep.
That is the same thing with the WWF title belt today. It's no longer a man's championship. It's a child's toy that you can get at Target for $15.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, we're going to get into that here just a little bit later, but just kind of want to just go off of some of these matches that happened on Saturday night's main event and just kind of see where we go from here, because now we're on the road to WrestleMania as we get set to go to
we're not on the road to WrestleMania yet. It doesn't even.
Well, I mean,
you can't say that until January. It's December, sir.
I'm excited for it already.
You're like one of those people who celebrates Christmas the day after Halloween.
I'm not one of those people. We literally just put lights on our Christmas tree like yesterday.
Respect.
We enjoy it during the month of December.
The right way.
Yes.
Responsibly.
The way that it should be done.
Mm-hmm. And then we leave our Christmas lights up until March.
Yeah. All these places that celebrate Christmas, or like Walmart literally put their Christmas decorations, I think the day before Halloween.
Oh, dude, it wasn't even Halloween. I walked into Walmart to go get Halloween candy, and they had Christmas candy.
They already got stuff up there. It's like, people, let Halloween pass and let us celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I celebrated the crap out of Thanksgiving.
Me too.
I fried multiple turkeys.
Well, I saw.
I ate a lot of stuffing. A lot of stuffing came out of me.
So you got stuffed?
I got stuffed, and then I got unstuffed. I don't know which one was more vigorously done.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is one of my second favorite time of the year. Number one is Christmas.
Yep, Christmas is great, but I mean,
I've made it a point to, like, every Thanksgiving, because I always psych myself up to try and do at least 3 plates every single time I go eat somewhere, but that second plate always gets me.
I could have done 3 plates, but I'm on Ozempic and I'm 20 pounds down. So Daddy wasn't carrying the load this year like he normally does.
I gotta try and work on it. Next year, I'm putting it down. Next time, I'm going 3 plates.
3 plates, baby.
3 plates.
He's gonna stuff himself full of meat.
Oh yeah. But anyway, let's get into some of the matches here. So the first one of the night was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Of course, Drew McIntyre came out on top. Thus begins Drew McIntyre's crusade of taking out each member of the OG bloodline. So Sami Zayn's out of the picture now, and so more than likely he'll probably go for Jay Uso or Jimmy Uso, one of the two.
It makes most sense. I mean, Drew took Jay out, so Sami. the first lamb to slaughter. I mean, I don't really see this going beyond the Jey Uso of it. I think all this is a build to Jey. I don't think he's gonna systematically. I don't think he's gonna eventually get up to Roman Reigns. But I do think that McIntyre gets his heat back by beating Sammy and then goes and has a good match with Jey, maybe somewhere before the Royal Rumble. And then, once the Royal Rumble kicks in, I think it'll, somebody will knock him out of the Royal Rumble and he'll blame that person too. And, we'll get there. So, but I mean, this was a, good match, two good guys. I mean, nothing you haven't seen on a Raw before, but a good way to kick off the night. Both these guys are great workers. I mean, I'm never upset when they're in the ring.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you saw or not, but did you see whenever he was on the Busted Open podcast with Bully Ray and Mark Henry and all of them? I mean, Drew's at a point now.
He is committed to whether it is real or not.
I think part of it was real.
Well, I think there's definitely the reality. Let's say the best characters in the world are when you take the truth and you just turn it up.
Yeah.
I think that Drew is playing a character based on the fact that he does, his family does live on the other side of the world. And, this is just, wrestling is a sacrifice for every wrestler as far as being away from family and friends and missing holidays and birthdays and things like that. But, the average wrestler in America still gets 1 or 2 days a week with family. But the international wrestler, maybe 1 week a year.
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, it is a grind, and that character. I mean, like I said, it doesn't come off as false. It doesn't come off as insincere. Like that's a real thing that he's talking about. And like I said, he's blurring the lines of what a character, what it's his character, and what's real. And that just makes him all the more engaging in a world where, like I said, there are just too many people who don't know how to keep kayfabe and they don't know how to be a heel at the airport like they are at the arena.
I feel like everybody has to be a heel at the airport because the airport is the worst place. I've never heard a good story of a professional wrestler talking about their experience in an airport.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Turn into it. Like if I was a heel wrestler in an airport, I'd make every kid cry.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'd pee on them. Like, they'd cry, and then I would, like...
You can't do that anymore, right?
We'll see.
No.
I mean, between Diddy and Vince and Brock, I mean, people peeing and R. Kelly, I mean, you might go to jail, but you can still do it.
Doesn't mean that it's accepted.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Especially after you eat asparagus.
Yeah.
That's just rude.
That's rude.
That's just rude. It's poor etiquette.
Rude.
Yep.
We apologize for anybody listening to this right now. We
I have no apologies.
How about he apologizes for nothing.
I apologize for nothing.
I apologize on behalf of him.
Yep.
But anyway, so then we get into Io Sky versus Liv Morgan Women's World Championship. We knew Liv was going to take this, no problem whatsoever. I thought at some point we were going to have a John Cena Seth Rollins repeat there because she took a knee strike. Liv took a knee strike from Io, and it didn't bust her nose completely or put her nose on the side of her face, but she came close to it. She definitely had a nosebleed, but
it was definitely a shot.
But I mean, of course, now this is going to set up another rivalry continue the rivalry between Liv and Rhea, and they're going to somehow continue it into WrestleMania.
I hope so. I hope not.
Well, I mean, eventually,
I really hope not. Truthfully, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. I really wanted Io to win this match. I wanted Io to win, and I wanted there to be a mutual respect rivalry between Rhea and Io that Liv would then come in, break up. Io could retain, and then that would, throw more coal on the fire. But it's like you get to the point in this match, and like they get done, and Rhea and Liv are standing right in front of each other, giving the stare off, and it's like, wait, just like a couple weeks ago, you guys were like trying to rip each other's heads off. Now you can stand right in front of each other, and neither one of you is going to do anything. Like after War Games, the steam has gone away from that rivalry.
Yeah,
it needed to be allowed to breathe, and throwing them right back at each other again. I love Rhea. I love Liv.
It's time to put this rivalry.
It's time to put this one to. I think we're squeezing a little bit of the rind into this juice.
Yes. And so, I mean, we'll see how it goes from here. I mean, if they continue it, of course, it's going to go into WrestleMania, and then Rhea's going to win the World Championship back from Liv, and she's going to get her redemption back, and she's going to make Liv pay for everything that she's done since SummerSlam, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, anything can happen from this point until Royal Rumble. But anyway, then you got Finn Balor versus Damian Priest versus Gunther for the world title. Of course, Gunther was going to win this. Balor wasn't going to win it.
Yeah, we knew that. And every day I just get more and more irritated about it. And I don't necessarily think Finn needed to take the title off of Gunther right now. Gunther's doing a great job with the title. He's a great heel. But, man, one day – one day Finn is going to get his redemption and get that title, and it will be a darn good day for all of us Finn Balor fans.
My personal opinion, I just think he needs to drop the Judgment Day and just go solo like he's done before.
It's coming. I mean, trust in Finn and we'll win. Like, listen to Finn, we'll win. I mean, you see the looks from Dom, like. It's coming. Like the Judgment, like I said, the Judgment Day is coming to a close. Finn, he might have JD with him still moving forward. I'm not sure when it's going to come, how it's going to come, what we're going to see as far as character transformation goes. All I know is that Finn Balor deserves to be the champion.
Yes.
And to carry that title for however long he can carry that title. He has been one of the major workhorses for the company ever since he's been there. And I don't know. I'm sick and tired of, I hate them reminding me and then not validating the fact that it's like you keep playing to the story of he deserves to have a title shot. He deserves to win the title again. And you just keep doing it. You get to that. We're almost at that I don't think they're ever going to do it phase, and so now it makes me not even want to root for them, and that's the part that really frustrates me the most.
It's very disappointing. But, I mean, hopefully with this new era that we're in, with the Paul Levesque era, hopefully they'll be able to actually do something worthwhile with Finn Balor and give him the opportunity to actually win a world title in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yep.
Then we get into the Women's United States Championship match with Michin versus Chelsea Green. Of course, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Chelsea Green.
Did you hear it on earlier in the week where obviously Samantha Irvin is no longer here, and we have totally blanking on her name right now.
Lillian Garcia.
The wonderful Lillian Garcia.
Yep.
Who loves strudel.
Yep.
Did you hear her trying to do the Samantha Irvin, Chelsea Green?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I appreciate that she's trying, but...
I mean, A for effort.
For effort.
Still.
L for love. Chelsea Green, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to say this was like a cheap pop win or something like that. She's from Long Island. This was in Long Island. She's winning the title because she's a hometown girl.
But regardless,
like... There are a few women in the roster that deserve the accolade of first-time U.S. women's champ, or just being being awarded a championship and being given your flowers, as Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green has fought, kicked, and scratched her way in the professional wrestling business for more than almost 2 decades, over 15 years at least.
Yeah.
This. And she has taken goat. The pad's not working.
That's all right. Yeah,
I can't. So you're gonna need to use it. She's taken goat shit and turned it into filet mignon.
Yeah, pretty much.
What she's been given creatively and how she's made it come to life on screen. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that you can just. I mean, you just make your minutes count. And that's, I mean, Chelsea Green, and you've got somebody like her, like I said, she's wrestled men in the Indies. Like Pentagon Jr. had a freaking knockdown, drag out fight. Like
that to me was probably one of the best matches in Lucha Underground.
Oh my goodness gracious,
so good.
Like
if you haven't watched it, go check out Lucha Underground and go watch that match. I mean, God, that was so cool.
But Chelsea Green absolutely deserves it. That was a great moment. Honestly, it was probably my favorite moment in the entire night.
Now I want to get your take on this. Like, how do you feel about the Women's United States Championship and Women's Intercontinental Championship that's going on right now?
We'll see. I don't have an opinion on it because it doesn't matter. Like the title doesn't matter unless you make the title matter.
Right.
Like
I get
like
it.
The Women's Intercontinental Championship is just that right now. And the Women's United States Championship is just that right now. Like Chelsea Green is now the inaugural United States Women's Champion. But how important is that going to be? You know, because like I said, like the Intercontinental Championship, regardless of who's carrying it, was held by Pat Patterson, was held by Tito Santana, was held by Randy Macho Man Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, was held by Owen Hart, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ken Shamrock.
Right.
Like that title has prestige. The U.S. title was held by Sting, Harley Race.
There's a lot of big names with those kinds of titles, and whenever you introduce a new title, that's going to be your biggest thing, is just creating prestige and creating a heritage with it.
I think Chelsea Green carrying it is a good start.
Yes, but of the ones to have it, Chelsea Green is definitely the one that you could put it on, because
at the end of the day, my opinions for a title are reserved. When a brand new title comes, it doesn't mean anything until it's made to mean something.
Right. I mean, I just like it because now it's going to create more like undercard or mid-card storylines for the women and give them.
So I've been pro it so far because people say, "Oh, there's more titles. WWE has more titles." I'm like, yeah, they also have a huge roster.
Yeah,
and for the longest time, the women's roster has only had one major women's title, and then the tag team titles. But meanwhile, you had the guys, with 2 world championship titles, 2 singles titles, tag team titles. You know, various times they've tried to add other, tertiary titles. At this point, you don't really need them. Intercontinental and U.S. are strong enough. The European, the hardcore, the 24/7, any other title that you add at this point, that's overkill.
Yeah.
But, with the women's division, they're getting to the point where there's just as many women as there are men on the program. And a lot of times the women's matches, even 10, 15 years ago, I'm not going to lie, you can call me a sexist jerk all you want. 10, 15 years ago, women's wrestling was going through the revolution, and it was getting better, but it still wasn't close, at least in WWE, to being... Don't tell me that any Hell in a Cell match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks came close to any, no. But you go back and watch women's War Games at War Games, and I don't really know which one was better. Truthfully, I think the women's might have been better this last year. The women's War Games, maybe I'll say it. The women's War Games this year was better than the Bloodline War Game. In my opinion, I think it was better. Now,
are you talking about the one for this year or the one for last year for the women's War Games? Because honestly, Nia Jax screwed up so much in this one.
Let me just put it this way. Last year was better all around for the women, but no, this year minus the Nia Jax of it. And see, that's the thing is I no longer see Nia Jax. I pretend she doesn't exist. Okay,
I can't go back and watch it.
A cold sore at 3:00 in the morning and it's last call. You just pretend you don't see it and you power through. All right, that's Nia Jax for me. She's dog shit awful. There's no reason she is in this company other than the fact that she is related to The Rock. But I'm not gonna crap on the whole women's War Games match because of Nia Jax. There were 9 other women in that match. Only one of them shat the bed.
Yeah.
The rest of them put on a classic.
Yeah.
Io, Tiffy, I mean, that tandem off the top,
that was epic.
Like those women they made it work. Rhea, Liv, Raquel, all of them, they went to town on each other.
Yeah.
And I love it when the ladies go to town on each other. All right.
Oh my gosh.
But no, like women's wrestling has gotten to the point where it is just like anybody could say a couple of years ago you were lying, but now there is a truth to it. The women are doing just as good, if not better, than the men most nights. So having more titles, giving them the idea to have more to fight for and more creativity, I'm all for it. But let's say it. These titles could last a year. It just depends on how you book with them.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't book with them, then they're not going to mean anything. Then people are going to lose interest. Then the titles are going to go away. Hopefully, that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the case. I mean, we'll see as it progresses and as they build up the prestige of those titles. But I think it's going to be good for the women's division 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it gives them more to fight for. And like I said, there's plenty of them. So, hopefully that gives opportunities to other women. Because not everybody's Rhea. Not everybody's Charlotte. Not everybody's Becky. Not everybody's going to be the top tier. But that doesn't mean they're not fantastically entertaining. Like Chelsea Green, put Chelsea Green in with Rhea and Charlotte and Becky. And is she really realistically, I think actual talent? Yes. If she can take on Pentagon Jr., then she can take on Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. But the character, the way that she's been built into the WWE universe mind, I can't think outside.
Yeah.
I can't think outside the box. I have to stay in the box. But you have characters like a Chelsea Green they're just not built to be. They're built to be an entertainer, and not necessarily the Iron Woman of the division. But give her spotlight, and now she has a spot. Now she's had a spotlight, but now she gets more minutes, which means we get more Chelsea Green, and we're all benefiting from that.
Absolutely. And then the last one that we'll get into: Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Of course, Cody bringing the Winged Eagle title back, and this match was absolutely perfect.
It was a great match.
Loved every single second of it. Of course, Cody was going to win. For a second, I thought Owens was going to win. Honestly, I wanted Owens to win this one, just so that way we can. I mean, here's the thing: Cody winning the title at WrestleMania needed to happen. It needed to happen. Cody needed to get his flowers at WrestleMania and have his title run, but now it's getting to a point where people are starting to get tired of Cody winning with the championship, and
I don't think people are getting tired with Cody winning the championship. I think people are just tired with the lack of believable threat.
Yeah.
At this point, who has actually been put up against Cody since WrestleMania that you believe for 2 seconds could take the title off of him?
Honestly, there really hasn't been anybody. I knew Solo wasn't going to beat him. I knew Kevin wasn't going to beat him. I don't think he hasn't faced Orton yet, has he?
No, and I think that I'm wanting that to be his WrestleMania opponent. I really want it to be Randy. I really want it to be I was your mentor, and you have superseded all of my expectations of you, but you're still dashing Cody Rhodes,
right?
And you made yourself a legend. And I'm a legend killer. I would very much like to see the student teacher role. I don't need to see Randy go to full Randy Orton heel for this.
No, he doesn't need to.
But like I said, I don't think that Cody has done anything wrong. I think Cody's in the same situation that Rhea was in last year, where when you book, when you have someone that's over like that, and you've booked them the way that you've booked them, like say superhero status, then they say that it's just it naturally happens in this business. They become a little stale because you stop believing in the other person's ability to win. So then the match, I'm sorry. You guys can put on a 5-star match, but if there's not a believability of that the outcome could go any other way, it's never going to have the same feel.
Yeah.
Like, case in point, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg will never have 5-star matches.
No.
But those two together in 5 minutes, and you don't know who's going to come out the champion.
That's all you need.
They had 3 main events with that, and every single one, like I said, no match was longer than 5 or 6 minutes.
No.
But, it sold. I'm pretty sure, what was it? The Royal Rumble, they were at the Royal Rumble, but before then, what was it? Survivor Series or something like that? And then they had the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was compelling. It was dog crap wrestling, but it was compelling because that's what you want. I mean, at the end of the day, what do you want to see? Like, do you want to see a technical, like you watch boxing, MMA, or anything like that? Do I want to see a technical, 15 rounds, who won each individual round? No, I want to see what I saw on MMA earlier the other week where the guy busts the other dude's face in 1 sec. The match starts and then boom.
Yeah, just literally clocked him and then that was it.
I mean, like Tyson, I say, that's why Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet in the 90s. It wasn't, he bit people's ears off, but like it was the knockout blows. Like people want to see, they want to see whether it's an upset or just an all-out fight. They want to believe that either side could win.
Yeah.
And like I said, nobody believed Kevin. No one believed for 2 seconds going into this that Kevin Owens had any chance of winning this match.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to, but at the same time, I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. And that's one thing I'll say is I think this is where factions are more important, and not to say we don't have plenty of factions in WWE.
We've got a lot of factions.
We've got a lot of factions in WWE, but one of the things I really missed from the Attitude Era was that a champion could absolutely lose their title without losing any heat whatsoever because of a screw job, or like we haven't seen like both the general managers are just straight laced general managers. Neither one of them is. There's no Eric Bischoff. There's no Stephanie McMahon. There's no William Regal general managers.
Which I'm very glad for.
No, that's what sucks, man. Are you kidding me?
No, see, here's my thing. Like, I've lived through that whole era where you have like the heel general manager. Or
you were wetting your huggies during that era. Okay.
Okay, listen to me. I remember when Paul Heyman was general manager of SmackDown.
Ooh.
I remember when Teddy Long was general manager of SmackDown. I remember Eric Bischoff as general manager of Raw. You had Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon.
Don't talk to me. I remember when Sergeant Slaughter was the commissioner. Okay.
Still, I've seen those kinds of general managers, and honestly, I'm okay if we never see those kinds again. Just me personally. Now, am I completely against it? Not 100%. But do I need to see it? Do we need to have that right now? No.
I think we do. I think there needs to be a believable antagonist for the protagonist, and that's basic storytelling. And you look at Cody Rhodes, and you say you already said it earlier. Like his championship run is stale, and it's not his fault. He's doing exactly what he should do as a babyface heel, but we don't have. I mean, as a babyface, but we don't have the heel that is compelling, that has the ability to do a 1-up on him.
I could give you one that at the time, whenever he was booked as, was not compelling, but now that he is the way he is, could be one that has a chance or has a shot at beating him.
Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay, well, Shinsuke is the United States champion.
Well,
he's even in the thing with LA Knight.
That's what I'm saying.
And Shinsuke, like, no, I'm sorry, I love Shinsuke, but what they've been doing with giving him the ability, like with subtitles and like vignettes and stuff like that. His story are better, but no, Shinsuke Nakamura, like I'm sorry, Shinsuke Nakamura as a heel in the United States is okay, but it's not Cody Rhodes level. Like Cody Rhodes is on that babyface level of Hulk Hogan, of the Ultimate Warrior, of his father, of Dusty. All right, he is a pure baby face, not a tweener, not somebody. I mean, yes, he has been heel in the past, but it's been so long. Like the modern day fans that are watching this don't remember like a real heel, like, and I say, especially the WWE universe, who didn't watch him when he left the WWE and was a heel.
Yeah.
Like, he did great heel work, but not in the WWE.
Oh, his best heel work, I'd say, was in Ring of Honor.
100%. So the fact of the matter with Cody is that he is a true white meat baby face. And a true white meat baby face has to have a all-out devil of a heel in order for the foil to work in the story. And you have people who are heel-ish. You have Kevin, who is a heel, but Kevin's not a full heel. Like, you can empathize with Kevin. He's right. Kevin did a lot to help Cody beat the bloodline, and then Cody turns around and helps the people that united him, that united him and Cody and Randy and Sammy and Seth and all these people. Drew's correct. Drew was screwed over by the bloodline over and over and over again. Like, those are empathetic heels, and those empathetic heels, they're complex characters and they're compelling, especially when you have them going against each other and you have who's right and who's wrong. That's compelling storytelling. But when you have somebody who is completely polar in one side, you need, like I say, it's like a battery. If you're going to have something completely positive, you have to have something completely negative in order to balance it out. And that is what I say. They do not have that in WWE right now. And I think you need somebody who actually would have the authority, like, other than The Rock, who poses a threat to Cody Rhodes right now.
Honestly, I can't think of anybody.
Exactly. The Rock is literally the only character in the WWE universe right now who poses any threat to Cody. And it's not even because he's The Rock. It's because he's Dwayne Johnson, who's in charge of the company and can literally, like at WrestleMania, change the stipulations of the match right then and there. And can have people come and help him out because he's freaking The Rock. Like, if you don't come help me, you're going to get fired. That's when let's say, when The Rock comes back and The Rock wants the title from Cody, people are going to say, oh, Cody's going to lose. And then no one's going to be saying Cody's title run is lackluster.
Yep, I can see it. I can see it.
That was my TED Talk.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this TED Talk from John Pipkin.
I have to educate him because he's a beautiful man. We love him. But he's like a beautiful idiot. And, he's younger. He, grew up in that ruthless aggression. He's seen good wrestling, but he's never seen, like, great wrestling.
I've seen some great wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen some great wrestling, too. You should have seen me trying to wrestle my ding-dong out of my pants the other day, trying not to pee on myself. It was cold. My hands were cold. We were dealing with one of those, like, dance and wiggle situations.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, guys, now it's time for some high spots and botches. So as far as high spots go, what do you got for this week?
Let's see. Like I said, high spot, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green winning the Women's United States Championship. It was a high spot. It was a great feel-good moment. It was long time deserved. Like I said, everything that she's done. Like I said, she was on Tough Enough at one point and got kicked off of Tough Enough. And then, like I said, to go to Lucha Underground, then, wrestling men, intergender matches throughout the world. And then, like I say, coming to WWE, not really having the best character storyline in WWE when she came in with NXT and WWE, not really given a fair shake, sent out. And then she comes back, kind of still the same character, but she pushes it, makes it work. And it's just, that's the feel good story of the moment of the week. So the Chelsea Green, you are my high spot.
As far as mine go, I enjoyed seeing Jesse Ventura back on TV and back in WWE just because with his story and with his history, I'm glad that he was able to have this moment or had the moment where he could just do this because he said that he wanted to do this for his kids so that way they could just see him do what he used to do and be able to have that moment to share with them.
It's definitely a great moment. It's one of those moments too where you can really appreciate the Paul Levesque era because Jesse Ventura would not be back here
There's a lot of people that would not be back if it
under the old
was Vince.
regime,
Yeah.
because Jesse was the man who tried to unionize the professional wrestling industry. I almost wonder what it would be like if he did. I don't
It's
think
one of those what-if situations.
Well, I would love for wrestlers to be able to. I mean, even if you don't unionize, to form an association, so that they can have a more leverage at the table and negotiate better long-term health benefits, life benefits, and things like that for them and their families. Wrestlers have gotten a lot healthier. We've got wrestlers that are having peaks in their careers in their 40s and 50s right now, as opposed to dying in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm so glad to see, the better culture in the back room and it leading to better, turnouts for our guys. But I'd still love to know that our guys are, have the ability to get themselves taken care of. Because the other thing too is the Miz has said it, The Rock said it, a lot of people, not Cody, but Roman's, other people have said it too. Like, it incentivizes wrestlers to go and become actors, because the minute you get into the Screenwriters Guild or the Actors Guild or whatever that associate, and you can get your actual benefits through them, that's why so many, John Cena, all those people, that's why once they go to Hollywood, they don't come back.
Right.
So, kudos.
Honestly, in this era now that we're in with professional wrestling, I feel like it could honestly happen. I don't know.
I don't know. I know that it's like one of those things where it's like nobody wants to be the one to do it. And so, like I said, I give all the credit in the world to Jesse Ventura, because he actually tried to, and a much grittier time, when he did it. And yet another reason to hate Hulk Hogan, because Hulk is the reason that Jesse didn't get. He got escorted out of the locker. That's about as far as he got with the Crusade.
Yep.
But yeah, that was it was good to see Jesse back, even if, like I said, he was saying things that made zero sense.
Hey, still love him.
Yep.
As far as botches, what have you got for this week?
I really don't. Honestly, I don't really have anything like that was super botchy for me this week.
Honestly, my only thing that I just I wish Kevin Owens would have won the title, but I knew Cody was going to win it. I just wish that Kevin would have won it in this sense. But like I said, that's not a major botch for me. It's just something that I was just wishful thinking.
No, and like I said, I don't think it's like I said. I think Kevin. I love Kevin. I loved the package pile driver after it went off air.
The altercation with him and Triple H, all of it.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see like what the purpose of that was. I really have a hard time believing that Triple H is gonna have one more match. Maybe. I doubt it. He's got too much. Like he's got. To me, like it'd be one thing. It's like if you're a wrestler's wrestler and you have to hang the boots up and go home. He's never had to go home. Like he runs the whole industry.
Right.
So like I don't know. They had the stare off and everybody's been saying, oh, it's going to be Kevin and Triple H at WrestleMania. I'm like, no, it's not. But we will see maybe something, in the next week, and I hope we do. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a very botchy week. Now, I could say like, I guess if I had to pick a botch, I would just say, SmackDown and Raw once again, just not that compelling, especially in a leading up to a pay-per-view. And they say AEW wasn't terrible either. And we got what's funny is we got the return of Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And Tony Storm has no idea that timeless Tony Storm existed.
Yeah.
Like there was this one that's great. She's like, I'm all elite. Like she was announcing it. I'm like, this is not 2021 or 2022. You don't need to say you're all elite.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. We'll just have to see how this week goes. We're recording this on Monday. Monday Night Raw is going to unfold. We're going to see how the Seth Rollins and CM Punk rivalry continues to build.
Okay, you know what? I will give a botch actually here. And this is weird. Okay, so this is weird. I didn't say this earlier, but I really like you said this, and it just the way it twins me. Sammy's promo was so darn good.
Yeah,
but it ruined the entire storyline.
Yeah, it did.
Like, it was a good promo. And what he did was, like, he called Seth out like a brother, and he's right to do so. So now, like, it's like I don't even want to see Seth fight CM Punk. I want to see them, like, and maybe I'm just getting older, but, like, to me, it would be like, shake hands, let bygones be bygones, and move on with your life. That's not what we're going to see because it's professional wrestling. Seth Rollins is going to have to go full heel at this point.
100%.
So I to me, it was a little bit of a botch because, like, at the end of the day, like, you had Seth and you had CM Punk and you had the whole, like, pick your poison, Seth or CM Punk, and now, like, after that, I know it's like, okay, if this rivalry is going to go on, but it's no longer going to be a, pick your poison. It's going to be 100% Seth is going to be a heel and Punk is, and part of me just doesn't like that because it's a legit rivalry, and maybe I do think they've made up, and I think in real life at this point they've probably had a conversation behind closed doors and figured out how to be professionals and move on based on the conversations that they're having and the way that they're doing this storyline and everything.
Right.
But I don't know. I liked it better when there was the element of realism.
Yeah.
And at this point, like I said, Sammy's promo was so good. But it basically is like it put the whole program into this corner of, okay, we're going full old school professional wrestling here. And Seth's going to be a complete heel. Even though him not liking CM Punk, like I said, he's justified. Like when he first came out and talked about it, it was like, well, I think you're being a little bit of a bitch, but I can also get you being angry because he did do that. Like, and as a fan, I was mad at him for, like, writing off the whole wrestling world. Because I was like, I get that you're pissed off with WWE, but I didn't do nothing to you.
Right.
Like, I just paid your bills by, buying your merch.
Exactly.
But no, so, like, yeah, that was one of those that was like right promo, wrong time.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's my botch.
All right. I mean, like I said, this week wasn't just super botch worthy. It was just, kind of lackluster leading into a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, but the pay-per-view itself, once again, it was a good pay-per-view, but
it was just there for nostalgia.
Minus the nostalgia and everything, it was just a pumped up Raw.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hey, it's the end. Like I said, it's the end of the year, and we're winding down, and soon we'll be ramping up the road to WrestleMania. And this guy right here, I won't need to take Blue Chew for a while because it'll be all organic.
But anyway, guys. That's our episode for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for listening. If you haven't already by now, which you should have done earlier in the episode, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all social media platforms. Like I said, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can find us on all social media platforms. You can find this guy on, what was it again?
Feet Finder.
Yeah, Feet Finder. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember if it was Toe Tickler or Feet Finder.
Toes before hose. 69.
Anyway, guys. Wasn't expecting that last one. But anyway, like I said, we're on social media.
You should always expect the 69 when I'm in the room.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, we'll announce more upcoming events as it gets closer to the end of the year. Put it away. I'm not going to do it.
I will scissor you against your will at some point, boy.
It's not going to happen. But like I said, we'll announce more upcoming events as it gets closer to the end of the year. We got a lot more content that's going to be coming your way, and you do not want to miss out on it. But anyway, guys, like we always say, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, keep it 5 stars.